Hi, welcome everybody to another CYTLive show. My name is Stephen Aitchison, creator of PositiveLifeAffirmations.net, a program to help you change your beliefs to change your life. We're going to be talking about dancing with fear. I love that expression, dancing with fear. And I was listening to a podcast last night. Whose podcast was it? Amy Porterfield. Amy Porterfield has got a podcast, and it's a brilliant podcast for business if you're interested in that. But she was talking about a video she was from Seth Godin, is a famous kind of author as well in the business space, and he talks about dancing with fear. And I thought that would be a great topic for the live today, because we all kind of go through fear at some stages in our life, whether it be kind of real fear or unvalidated fear. So validated fear, for example, would be, say you're swimming and you see a shark. That's validated fear. But most fear that we have in our lives is kind of made up in our minds. We create the fear in our minds, and we build it up and we build it up and we build it up, and it becomes this big kind of black hole in our minds, and we can't get over it for some reason. So that's what I want to talk about today, is getting over that fear in your minds. It's not validated fear. Validated fear you should be fearful of things like if you're walking down an alley and you see kind of 5 guys and running towards you with guns or something. That's validated fear. You need to get the hell out of there as quick as possible. So that's validated fear. But what we're talking about today is unvalidated fear, where we create the fear in our minds. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I want to kind of look at 5 different points about fear as well, and just talk about fear in general. And there's a thing with myself as well in particular, and we all go through it as I said, but with myself just now, in business in particular, in my personal life, fear is not a big thing for me. I expect things to happen, and they usually do happen using the kind of the principles of the law of attraction, and it usually kind of works out really well. I can't remember a bad thing that's really happened in my personal life at the moment, to me personally. So fear is not a big factor in my personal life. In the business life, there's always going to be that element of fear. But it pertains to your business life as well. Like we're doing the kind of weight loss challenge just now. We've got a weight loss challenge going on, and there's a group of about 35 members in there, and we're all doing a 30-day challenge. And it's brilliant. Everybody in there is brilliant. The energy is high, and it's a great group to be in because everybody's supporting each other. And when I first thought about that challenge, I thought, is this going to work? Is it going to work with a group online? And I was kind of fearful that it wouldn't work, and I thought, I don't know what to do, and I kept on going over and over in my mind, and I kind of building up this fear. What if it doesn't work? What if only one person joins the group and all that? And I kind of built up this fear, and I thought, do you know what? I kind of danced with the fear. And dancing with the fear really means, when we're talking about it here, we're talking about understanding what the fear is. Why are you afraid of doing something? When you get to understand the fear better, you kind of dissipate its power. So when you can dissipate fear's power, then you can move on ever so slightly. You can take that next step forward. But when you can't dissipate its power, i.e. if you don't understand it, then it's going to be hard to move forward. It's going to be more difficult. It's not going to be hard, it's going to be more difficult. You're kind of putting further hurdles in your way of overcoming that fear. So that weight loss challenge thing, going back to that again, I kind of danced with the fear and thought, what am I afraid of? Why is this kind of thing to be fearful of? And it's just a small thing. It might sound like a small thing to you, but because I'm putting myself out there online and saying, okay, well, I'm going to try this, and if nobody buys it, that's a fear that you look like a failure. But there's no such thing as a failure. You just learn to do things in a different way. So I thought, okay, I danced with the fear a little, kind of tangled with it, I waltzed with it, I kind of done some hip-hop dancing with it, I just done all the kind of dancing with it, kind of really got to understand it, and it just came down to me. It just came down to me and making me feel foolish. And that's what I was afraid of. I might feel foolish if nobody kind of buys into this program and nobody kind of joins the group. And it was only $49, it wasn't a big kind of expense thing. It was only $49, and I knew people could definitely afford it, and I knew it was going to be really helpful. And I kind of wrote the ebook for it, made the group up, got the membership area up and running as well. And I put it out there. I just kind of danced with the fear, put it out there, say, okay, whatever happens, what's the worst thing that could happen? one person joins, I would give the best experience ever to that one person. But it turns out 35 people joined in the end, and they're loving it. And that fear has totally been unfounded, because we're going to make it bigger for the March challenge as well. And I'll promote it more, because I didn't really promote it before. So that is kind of an example of fear getting in the way of your life. And we do this in our personal lives as well. So much we do in our personal life as well. We fear relationships, we fear starting a new job, we fear getting a new house, we fear lots of different things in our lives, particularly in relationships as well. And the interview with Terry Cole, how brilliant was that, by the way, yesterday? She spoke about relationships as well. We didn't go into fear as much, but we went into the belief patterns, the old belief patterns that we have when going into relationships as well. And those old belief patterns build up that fear within us as well. And once you can dance with the fear and kind of really understand it and really kind of understand yourself better, that's really what you're doing here. You're trying to understand yourself better about why you feel this fear. And once you understand it, you dissipate the power of the fear, which is a phenomenally kind of empowering thing to feel. When you've got a big fear and this big black hole in front of you, and you can see that dropping and dissipating as you begin to understand it, is extremely powerful in your life. And the thing is, it has a knock-on effect. When you fear kind of one big thing in your life, and you really fear it, and you dissipate its power, you've danced with the fear, you've got to understand it, you've moved forward, it kind of has a knock-on effect to everything else in your life. It gives you that boost, gives you that confidence as well. So I want to speak about maybe 5 areas of fear, and kind of let you know, number 1, fear is a natural thing. Fear is there to protect us. We've got to understand that as well. The fear that we feel is genuine to us at that particular moment, and it may continue as well, but we've got to understand it is a natural thing. Our brains and the basal ganglia of our brains, this is where the kind of fear kind of forms. I don't know where that came from. This is where the fear kind of forms. It's an old kind of going back to caveman days as well. We see fear and we hit that fight or flight syndrome. We go into that syndrome where we're going to either run from it, or we're going to kick somebody's behind. So it's fight or flight. And this is where the fear comes from. So fear is a natural thing, and it's part of who we are as human beings. However, nowadays, there's not that many things in our lives to fear. So what we do is we build up that fear. Instead of having a physical kind of reaction to something that's happening at the moment, like an animal or a tiger going to jump at you, that would be validated fear. But we don't. We use unvalidated fear and build it up in our minds. And we've got to try and understand why we build it up in our minds. But at the same time, we have to understand it's a natural thing for us as well. So that's number 1. Understand and recognise that fear is a natural thing. And as we were speaking about there before, number 2 is that there's validated fear and false fear. Validated fear, as I said, swimming in the ocean, a shark is kind of swimming right beside you. That is validated fear. You've got to swim for your life, get out there, get into the boat or wherever it is. That's validated fear. False fear is the one we build up in our minds. And this is a fear that we're really kind of talking about here, because most of our fear is built up in our minds. It's not really validated in any way. And one thing I've really learned about kind of fear and thinking about it is asking the question, what is the worst that could happen? What is the very worst thing that could happen? And usually the worst thing that could happen, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. What a lot of people do, say with example with agoraphobics, they built up a fear in their mind about going outdoors. They start to get panicky, and they start to kind of sweat, or they start to get really anxious, and they might have kind of a meltdown in their minds if they go outside. But that's because they built up that fear in their minds. And going to a psychotherapist or a counsellor or something like that is definitely going to help, because what the counsellor does then is really work through that fear. Why are they afraid of going out? What is it about going out into kind of wide open spaces, or even being in kind of crowded spaces as well, crowded rooms with people as well? Why does that cause an anxiety attack? But the thing to remember here is in the mind. This is why the counsellor kind of is helping you, or the psychotherapist is helping you as well, because it's something that you've created in your mind. Now it might be that something has triggered that off and you can't get rid of that trigger point, and you might use CBT, for example, cognitive behavioural therapy, to work on that particular trigger, and you set new triggers and set new boundaries for yourself as well. But it's still at the same time it is a false fear. Once you recognise it as a false fear, then you can start to kind of dance with it a wee bit more, understand it, thereby understanding yourself at the same time as well. So that's number 2. Number 3 is to chunk it out. So say, for example, how would we give this an example? For example, if you wanted to go for a new job and you're kind of working just now, you're not really interested in your job just now, and you want to go for a new job and it's maybe a step up, you might fear actually applying for that job, for example. You might totally fear and just go, I'm not good at that, I'm not going to be any good, I'm not good with people, I'm not going to be good at managing people, and you have all these things kind of building up. What to do is chunk it out. So by chunking out, I mean take it one step at a time, break down the kind of process of what you've got to do for kind of that job application. So the first thing might be to look at the job application, fill it in, get some help filling it in as well, and then look at the different areas and the qualities that they're looking for, and then chunk that down as well. Break it down and just say, okay, could I manage a team of 3 people? Then yes, you could. Could I do this? Yes, you could. Could I do this? So you look at each individual kind of quality that they're looking for, and you just say, yep, that's me, that's me, that's me. Instead of thinking about the whole thing and kind of blowing it up in your mind, saying, no, I'm not going to be any good for that, I'm not going to apply for that job because I'm just kind of too fearful, although you might not use those words. So you chunk it down and look at each individual piece of the puzzle. It might be a goal that you have. So for example, going back to the weight loss thing, the goal is for you to go to the gym. You really, really want to go to the gym, you want to start losing weight, but you fear that people are going to laugh at you because you might be too big, or you perceive yourself to be too big, and that's something that's in your mind as well. Or you perceive that, as I said, to be for you to be too big, so you don't want to go to the gym because people might laugh at you, people might look at you, and again, this is something you've built up in your mind. So again, you kind of look at that, chunk it down, and just say, okay, what could I do here to reach my goal of kind of going to the gym and losing weight? You chunk it down, okay, the gym, it might be open for 24 hours. You go at a time, to start off with, you go at a time when a lot of people are not going to be there. So if you can go during the day when a lot of people are at work, then that would be a good time to go. And that kind of dissipates that fear. So it dissipates the power of the fear as well by chunking it down. Number 3, surrounding yourself with people who are supportive and positive of what you want to achieve. And this kind of goes for anything in your life. It's not just about fear, but if you're particularly fearful of something, then it's great to surround yourself with people who have done what you wanted to do or want to do, or with a supportive group of friends and kind of family, or a network like the weight loss challenge we've got online. That is a network of people, it's a support network to help each other through this kind of weight loss challenge that we've got as well. So you have to surround yourself with positive and supportive people as well. And what happens there, again, that dissipates that fear, because they'll tell you what they were fearful of at the beginning, and you say, okay, well, they've done it, I can do it as well. And that's what's so great about a supportive network and having a good group of friends or a good group of kind of people that are kind of in a similar situation as well. And that's why I love Facebook groups as well, because you can find anything under the sun that you need support with, you join the group and you get some support after kind of interacting with the group as well. So I love Facebook for that. Number 4, are we on number 4 or number 3 or number, I can't remember. I'll give you more than 5 then if we said we were going to do 5. Okay, we'll say number 4 just now. Number 4 is seek out opportunities to face your fear. So actively seek out opportunities to face your fear. And in the Amy Porterfield kind of episode that I was listening to yesterday in the podcast, Amy Porterfield was kind of afraid to do videos. She was afraid of how she would look on camera, she was afraid that she would say the wrong thing or the words weren't going to flow or anything like that. And so what she did, what she was talking about there, is she said, okay, for the next few weeks, I'm going to do a video every day. And that's what she done. So she kind of took the opportunity to dance with that fear, face it right square in the eye, and say, I'm going to do this. She done it, and she overcame her fear that way. So, for example, if you want to overcome a fear of spiders, what's the thing you do? You face your fear, and you dance with the fear, hold a spider in your hand. Maybe a tiny one at the beginning, then it gets bigger, then it gets bigger, then it gets bigger, and that is part of cognitive behavioural therapy approach as well, is kind of facing your fear and doing it that way as well. That's a good kind of way to do it. Number 5, or the last one, is to shift your perspective. Shift your perspective on fear. And again, that could be as simple as asking, okay, what's the worst that could happen here? But conversely, what you do there as well, what's the best that could happen? What's the best thing that could happen if I face this fear and do it? So Susan Jeffers wrote a book, Face the Fear and Do It Anyway, which is a brilliant book as well. If you've not read that, you definitely should read that as well. I read that years and years and years ago, and that just came to my mind there just now. But shifting your perspective on things and looking at it from a different angle. So you ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? So you make your kind of fear say, okay, this is the worst thing that could happen. If you went on video, if you're afraid of going on video, for example, and I know a lot of the kind of YDF tribe are in here, and they're afraid, well, they're not, well, it probably is fear of going on kind of video, and the words not flowing, and they maybe start to stutter, or they fear they don't look good. And the best thing to do there is to say, okay, what's the worst that could happen? The chances are, if you go on video, if you do a live video or something, there's going to be about, I don't know, 10, 20, 30, 40 people watching, and you go on and you just say, listen, I'm really afraid to do these live videos, but I wanted to put it out there and just let you know I'm really quite nervous about doing these, and you'll find that people support you. You'll find that network of support that we were talking about earlier on as well. And again, asking yourself the question, what's the worst that could happen? The worst that can happen is you go on camera and you kind of stutter a wee bit. People say, generally people won't say anything about that at all. They'll generally be very supportive. So the worst thing that could happen, you could go on camera, you stutter a wee bit, you go off camera and say, oh, I didn't like that, I was on for 2 minutes, didn't like it. But you think, okay, what could I do better the next time? Shifting your perspective on fear as well is going to be totally amazing for you. But you have to do two sides of the coin. What's the worst that could happen? What's the best thing that could happen? And I know a lot of people, just for using an example, a lot of people went on Facebook Live and they kind of feared it at first, but then they started to love it, so much so that they've got a show. They've got a live kind of show, doing it maybe 1, 2, 3 times a week. And because they love it, they love the interaction with people, and they got over that fear, and it's just been brilliant for them. Because your confidence skyrockets. Once you can face one fear and dance with the fear, really get to understand it and dissipate the power of the fear, then that is really remarkable for your confidence, and it has a big, huge knock-on effect as well for every area of your life. Okay, I think I've been talking a wee bit long there. I like that topic. I just really like talking about it, but I don't know how long we've been on. Oh, we're stuck. I don't know if we are stuck or not. Right, I don't know what's happening. I can't see any comments because Facebook has stuck just now. And I don't know if I'm even live. I might have been talking for 20 minutes and I don't even know if I'm live yet. I hope I am. And I'm just going to see if I can get back into the Facebook Live, see if there's any comments. Oh, there's still people in, so it must be on live. Yes, there is. I've got the comments now. Azora is saying, Deb, you're funny. That must be from a comment from Deb. I've missed that. Travis Looney, good morning to you. Kimberly Ladon, very helpful information. Stephen, thank you very much, Kimberly. Marcy Kerr, you're still live. Yes, I'm still live. Darling Dawn, I find Facebook has been sticking a lot. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. Joanna Rambo, you're very live. Yes, I'm live. Tiffany Reid, these are your lives are great. I'm so shy, but my heart really would like to do a live. I wish I can overcome my shyness. Dance with the fear. Tiffany, that's all I can say. Dance it, begin to understand that. and just do it. Even if you go on for 30 seconds, I'd love to do a 30-day challenge for doing Facebook Lives, just to get people over that fear as well. Just dance with the fear and get over it. Even if you do a 30-second live, nobody shows up, at least you've went on live, and that'll be fantastic. But that's something else down the line. And you know, was that a bit of fear then, Stephen? No, no, it wasn't fear. Just concerned that my technical issues had resurfaced again. Not my technical, the computer's technical issues. Travis, going to dance with the fear and then twirl it right off the floor. Exactly. Dance with the fear and twirl it right off the floor. Waltz the fuck out of that fear. That's what that's what I say. Susan Jackman, I love Dance with the Fear. Vian, thanks Stephen, you're my hero. Oh, thanks very much for that, Vian. I really appreciate you saying that. Lisa Otto, people should go on and make faces. They should. Yeah, that's a great idea. Just make a complete fool of yourself, kind of on live, so you totally overcome it, and then when you go on live just to do kind of normal chat, then that would feel so much better doing that. Ashleen McGowan Hannah, I want to build my business and be able to promote my natural products. Excellent. That's probably for the business show rather than this show. I know it might be confusing. I've got a business show and I've got the kind of personal development show over in here CYT. But yeah, that's another question for another time, I think. Just see if there's any more questions or comments. And Joanna Rambo, I often wonder if you go live, what were you before you went? You weren't live, yeah, I see what you mean. Lisa Otto, I make a fool out of myself daily. So do I just don't mind. I don't mind making a fool out of myself. I kind of do, and probably if I was on live, I kind of do. I wouldn't do things that I would normally do in the house, I would do on live. Deb Wells, good talk on fear, Stephen. We all need a confidence boost at time. Fear holds people back from living, so face those battles full on, don't worry. And we all think the lives, that in itself is a big start. Yes, I think that is a big, I think that would help a lot of people. Even if you don't want to start a Facebook Live show, or you've not got a business or anything, still do a Facebook Live, because it, as I said before, if you overcome one kind of big fear that you've got in your life, it has a knock-on effect to other things. And most people, I would imagine, on here would kind of have the fear of doing a Facebook Live. A lot of people would do that, but if you did it, that would have a huge knock-on effect in loads of different other areas in your life as well, and it gives you that huge confidence boost as well. I think that's a really good idea, actually. I think I should challenge you to do that. A wee live show. Try to think, my brain's working now how we could work something out. John Adams Bowen, Dance with the Fear. Love that. I'll be thinking about this all day. Doing a live would really be stepping out of my comfort zone. I will be surprising people sooner than you think. I know you will, Donna. I know you will be surprising people sooner than you think. And I know you can do it as well. And you'd look great on camera. You come across brilliant on camera. I know that. Obviously you don't know that yet, but that's coming. Trust me, that's coming. Kimberly Ladon, I have a fear of mice, rats. I once went out and bought a rat. It helped for years, but as the years have passed, this fear has resurfaced. I have nightmares of mice in my bed, or touching me. Scariest thing ever. I'm going to dance with it. Overcome. You're amazing, Stephen. Thank you very much, Kimberly. And tell us how it goes when you kind of dance with the mice. Dance with the fear, dance with the mice. I'm getting all kind of crazy ideas here in my head. I don't know why. Susan Jackman, I sang at open mic night, messed up and kept going, found out I loved it. What a boost of confidence. Brilliant. Love that, Susan. Totally love that. That's excellent. Neilana Timmons, I keep getting that wrong. I did a live, one topic of my anxiety. It was awesome, touched a lot of people, take a chance, it was great. Yes, definitely. I think everybody should take a chance, and it has a knock-on effect. And I bet after you've done that live, Neil Enna, after you've done that live, it had a knock-on effect in kind of other different areas in your life as well, and give you just a big, huge boost in confidence. Okay, question, can I apply this advice to our everyday life if I don't have a business? Yeah, this is not about business, this is about your everyday life, about whatever you have a fear about. This is about kind of dancing with the fear of your kind of everyday things in your life, if you have a fear of anything at all. So it's not about business, this is about your kind of personal life. and how you can overcome. So it could be fear of relationships, fear of kind of stepping up in your job. It could be a fear of doing kind of lots of a fear of computers or something like that, and you just want to overcome it. Ortiz is saying, I like to karaoke with every once in a while. Yeah, I kind of do karaoke as well. Every once in a while I kind of get up after a few drinks and do the karaoke as well. Alcohol's not a good thing for fear as well, so I wouldn't recommend using alcohol, but it's usually when I'm out and I'm just having a drink anyway that I get up and do the karaoke. Not that I'm afraid of it. So yeah, I kind of like singing. I kind of sing all the time as well. I think that's it just now. Tiffany Reid, Stephen, I apologise, I was knocked off the live when you responded to me. No problem, just watch back the replay. I can't remember what I said, Tiffany. I can't remember the question. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there for today, and wish you a brilliant day whatever you're doing, and namaste. Take care. Bye now.